So what is it about India's geography that makes it feel like, well, like a whole world packed into one country? It's a land of these absolutely breathtaking contrasts, where the world's highest peaks give way to sun-scorched deserts and ancient, lush forests. In this explainer, we're going to dig into the powerful geological forces and incredible landscapes that define the subcontinent, and we're going to start with a view from the ultimate high ground.
Back in 1984, Rakesh Sharma, who was India's first and, to this day, its only citizen in space, was orbiting the Earth. During a live link-up, the Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, asked him a simple question: "What does your homeland look like from up there?" And his answer? It wasn't some dry, scientific description. No, it was pure poetry. He said, "Sare jahan se acha," better than the whole world.
And this is what he saw. A vast peninsula just jutting out into the ocean, and it's crowned by this immense snow-covered arc of the Himalayas. I mean, look at that. This one stunning feature stands like a guardian, walling off the land below from the rest of the continent. It's a view that immediately tells you India is something different.
Right. And that unique profile, it's no accident. You see, India isn't just a country, it's a subcontinent. It's naturally defined and separated from the rest of Asia by these massive geographical barriers that have profoundly shaped its climate, its history, and of course, its cultures.
Our journey is going to begin with that one dominant feature, the Himalayas. Now, in Sanskrit, the name literally means abode of snow, but honestly, that hardly captures the scale of this thing. This isn't just a mountain range, it's a continental wall, home to the highest peaks on the entire planet.
So how in the world did this colossal wall even get here? Well, the story is, it's an epic, and it unfolds over geologic time. Millions and millions of years ago, the landmass we now call India was actually part of Gondwana, this ancient supercontinent way down in the southern hemisphere. It broke free and began this relentless, slow-motion journey north across the ocean, closing in on Asia.
Now, what's really fascinating is how simple the mechanism was. When these two continental plates finally collided, the land between them had nowhere to go but up. Just think about pushing a carpet against a wall, you know those wrinkles that form? That is exactly what happened to the Earth's crust, raising the mighty Himalayas. And right here, you can see the result on two totally different scales. On the left, you've got the colossal arc of the mountain range seen from space, and then on the right, you can see the evidence of that immense force baked right into the rock. I mean, look at those layers that have been bent, folded, and just thrust skyward. And get this, here's a mind-bending fact for you. That collision? It isn't over. It's still happening right now. The Indian plate is still pushing into Asia, forcing the Himalayas to grow about 5 millimeters taller every single year. That constant pressure is also what makes the entire region so geologically active, prone to those powerful earthquakes.
But these mountains are so much more than just a barrier. Their vast glaciers act as the water tower of Asia. They form the headwaters of 3 of the continent's greatest rivers, the Ganga, the Indus, and the Brahmaputra. The annual meltwater from these mountains sustains hundreds of millions of people downstream.
Okay, so all that life-giving water flowing down from the mountains created the next stop on our journey. For millennia, the rivers carried silt and sediment, depositing it to form the vast, flat, and incredibly fertile Gangetic Plains, one of the great cradles of human civilization.
This view from space at night just says it all. The plains are a sea of light. Every single one of those dots is a town or a city, and all of them are powered by the land's incredible fertility. It's simple. Where you have rich soil and abundant water, people thrive. And that's why this is one of the most densely populated places on Earth.
And the reason for all that density is crystal clear. For thousands of years, this predictable cycle of water from the mountains and rich soil on the plains has produced the food that sustained entire empires and cultures. It's a rhythm of life tied directly to the geology of the land.
But from this land of incredible abundance, India's geography takes a really dramatic turn. The country is home to not just one, but 2 major deserts, and each one is a tale of opposing extremes, one hot and one cold.
So over in the west, you've got the Thar, a classic hot desert with rolling golden sand dunes. But if you travel way up to the far north, deep in the rain shadow of the Himalayas, you find Ladakh, a high-altitude cold desert. It's a barren landscape where winter temperatures can plummet below -30°C.
And the visual contrast is just stunning. On one side, you have the warm, shifting sands of the Thar. On the other, the stark, rocky, almost moon-like terrain of Ladakh. They are 2 completely different worlds, forged by
totally different climatic forces, yet they exist inside one nation.
Now, in these arid lands, life revolves around one great challenge: water. For people in the Thar, this often means trekking for miles under a harsh sun every single day, just to get enough for their families. Water is a resource that is never, ever taken for granted here.
And that reality brings us to a really powerful thought. It's a simple but profound reminder of just how precious water truly is. For so many of us, a simple turn of a faucet accomplishes what, for others, is an entire day's hard work. It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
All right, continuing our journey south, we reach the oldest and most stable part of the Indian landmass, the Great Peninsular Plateau. This triangular heartland is a world away from the young, volatile, and still growing Himalayas up north.
And just to give you a sense of how unbelievably ancient this land is, think about the Aravalli hills that border the plateau. At 2.5 billion years old, they are among the oldest mountains on the planet. I mean, they predate the dinosaurs by billions of years and have been weathered down by unimaginable eons of time.
So this ancient, stable land, combined with the monsoon rains that get trapped by the Western Ghats mountain range, has created this unique incubator for life. It's a global biodiversity hotspot. It's home to species you won't find anywhere else on Earth, like the striking lion-tailed macaque.
These dense forests also provide a refuge for magnificent creatures like the king cobra, another iconic resident of this rich ecosystem. The isolation and the stable climate over millions of years allowed these specialized species to evolve and just thrive here.
And the plant life is just as unique. I mean, it features wonders like this insectivorous plant, which actually evolved to trap and digest insects just to survive in nutrient-poor soil. The whole region is a living museum of evolution, and it's a direct result of its ancient and isolated geography.
So as we zoom back out, what have we seen? We've journeyed from the roof of the world down through these incredibly fertile river plains, across both hot and cold deserts, and into an ancient forest-covered plateau. It's undeniably one land, but it clearly contains many, many different worlds.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've seen the pieces of the puzzle, right? The tectonic collisions, the life-giving rivers, the ancient, stable lands. The bigger question, really, is how do all these diverse physical landscapes ultimately come together to forge a human character that is so utterly and so recognizably unique?